What is going on? Today we have a new token, a new project called the Pika token project. We have the president, the founder, the CEO, the head honcho, the guy who has the vision behind this token, and we want to investigate. We want to see what he's all about and see if it's someone we could trust and a project that we could trust to put our money in. My name is Aaron. I'm a brand new crypto investor, and I'm just exploring what I call the wild west of cryptocurrency. And you and I, well, we're cowboys, baby. And we're just exploring. We're trying to find, crypto's like, there's all these scammers and villains and people trying to take your money and probably some trustworthy people out there as well. And I'm just doing my level best to try to find some trustworthy people that you and I can invest in, that we could, build relationships with. So if you want to follow me on my journey to Bitcoin, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below. Hit the notification bell for any new content that comes out. And of course, if you feel particularly generous today, I'm going to ask for you a favor and hit that like button. A lot of people watch these videos and don't, give me a like button. So I'm just going to have to ask that for you. Now, a little bit of backstory or background behind what I'm doing here. I started with YouTube and I was watching these YouTubers and they were talking about these coins, but they never said that they got paid to promote these coins, these small YouTubers, right? And, I actually developed some kind of admiration for them. And then I was talking to developers and said, yeah, they did a bad job promoting a project and they never told it was a promotion. And so from my end, I got biased information, and from the developer end, they got a terrible promoter, you know what I mean? And they lost money. And from a viewer end, it's just it's kind of all fake. And so in an interview, I see it as a 3-win, solution, win-win-win. The developer gets to defend their project the best way possible. I get an unbiased, or I could come at it with an unbiased opinion, and I get compensated for it. And you get the best research possible for any given token. And today we have someone who has agreed to that. You wouldn't believe how many developers I talk to that says, no, we can't do that. Oh, you have to get my face. No, we can't. And it's it's a little sketchy. These skeevy guys, they don't want to show their face. But every so often, we find someone who is proud to put their face to the project. We find someone who shows their face because they feel like they can be trustworthy. They want to let you and I know, hey, you can trust me. I believe in my project, and now I'm here to tell you why I believe in it and why you should believe in it too. And so I want to introduce Reese, the founder and the president of Pika Token. Reese, welcome to the show.
How are we, sir? Thank you for having me. And I want to say that you are my first ever interview, and this format suits me down to the ground. This is perfect. This is exactly what I want when it comes to doing an AMA interview. So thank you very much for having me.
Awesome, Reese. I'm so glad to have you. Just so you know, man, this is not a paid thing. This is not a promotional thing. I'm here to put you in the hot seat, and we've got an army of cowboys just listening in. We're just okay, absolutely. What is this token all? We want to invest. We're some crazy people. We're investing a whole host of these coins and tokens. And so we need to know what makes you different. So let me just start off with the first question. Give me a little bit of your origin story, your backstory, and leading up to Pika Token.
Yes, certainly. So essentially the foundation of our project was based off a previous token called Pikachu. So it was a currency that was made by a developer who abandoned the project pretty much upon launch, which it seems like 99% of projects at the moment are doing that kind of trend. And essentially a community formed around that token and decided they weren't going to let it die. We were going to push it forward, progress with it, and make something beautiful out of it. So what happened is we ended up building a community and essentially realizing after a period of time that there were a lot of restrictions and a lot of frailties within the network that we already had that we weren't able to do. So we weren't able to develop because the developer keys were burned. There was a large total supply, and the ability for us to progress with the current project was null and void, essentially. So we decided after about a month of the project being live to migrate over to a new project. So essentially Pika is the name of the new project. And the reason, or one of the major reasons for this, is obviously moving away from copyright issues that there were originally. So obviously Pikachu being a copyright term, we wanted to ensure that moving forward, that from a legal liability perspective, that we were free and clear. So rebranding to Pika, removing all kind of imagery or branding that was in any way affiliated with Nintendo or anything like that was completely removed. And this project gave us a clean slate and the opportunity to develop the project in a way that we wanted, with the tokenomics that we wanted, in a way that we wanted. So, that's a bit of a background.
So I don't know anything about the Pikachu token. I'm brand new crypto currency, but I want to get into who you are. Who are you, Reese, as a person? You know, your background, all that stuff. We'll get into Pikachu in a second, but I want to know about you.
Yes, I am a 32-year-old Australian male. I live in a town called Launceston, Tasmania, and last week I resigned as a manager of an optical practice to pursue this in a full-time capacity. So it's a risk, but that's how much belief I have in this project moving forward.
That is amazing. I love when people have that entrepreneurial spirit, that like, for lack of a better term, that cowboy spirit.
Yep.
We just have lizard brains, gorilla arms, and diamond hands, where we want to ride into the sunset, into something that we believe in. So you believe in this project so much that you quit your job, and that you decided to dedicate all your energy and full time into this. And so, and from what I gathered, that this is Pikachu died. This token, that one died, and it reemerged as Pika to remove all copyright and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Now, you didn't really go into it, so this is it. What is Pika token all about? Like, what are we doing here?
How much time you got?
Yeah, I got all the time in the world, baby.
It's essentially I'm the founder of the tokenomics. That's I put forward the economic proposal for the way that the project was going to move forward from a developmental perspective. So essentially, we're not launching just one coin, we're launching 3, and they're all interconnected with each other. So we have Pika, we have Thunder, and we have Rye. So all 3 of them are interconnected in what we call the Pika ecosystem, and they all feed off each other for value. So I'll break it all down for you.
Yeah,
because once you understand how it works, you'll see just how revolutionary the entire system is.
Okay.
So we've coined ourselves as being the pioneers of GameFi, and essentially the breakdown of GameFi is it's gamified finance. It's being able to play the market in a way that you can financially benefit.
So be able to play GameFi is to play the market. What does that mean?
Yes.
Play the market.
You can essentially play the 3 coins off of each other in a way that you can financially benefit.
Okay, so I guess I'll just have you describe that to me.
Yeah. So where a lot of coins go forward with their staking models, what they do is you'll deposit your coin into a staking pool and you'll get rewarded with an upgraded token. That's the way that a lot of these coins do their staking methods. Our way is completely different. So when you essentially evolve, because we have 2 methods. We have staking and we have evolving. Evolving is when you essentially deposit your token. So take your Pika coin, for example. You essentially deposit that Pika coin into a pool and you get 0 of them back. What you get instead is the evolved coin.
Okay.
So you with me so far?
I'm with you. Yeah. I'm with you. I don't know how that works, but I don't need to know how that works right now.
Yeah.
So I get evolved. I Thunderstone it gets evolved. Okay.
Yep. So essentially, what happens is it costs 10,000 Pika coins to get 1 Thunder coin.
Okay, so I have to deposit 10,000 Pika coins to get back 1 Thunder coin.
That is correct. Now, what happens to those 10,000 coins? That's the first question that most people have, because obviously they're not going to just completely disappear. They've got to go somewhere. And that's where our staking pools become such a lucrative option for people, because you can essentially either evolve your Pika coins or you can deposit them into the staking pool. So the people that are evolving, those coins go into the staking pool, and the people that stake get a higher APR as a result. So you can,
okay.
So you can either accumulate or you can evolve.
Right. So let me just. I mean, you're helping my little lizard brain understand.
Yep.
So you've got, what'd you say, 10,000 Pika coin, right?
Yep.
You put it into the staking pool, and you could go either one of 2 ways in that. You could either just stake it normally and just get back the APR,
Yes.
APR, remind me of what that is again. That's like getting money
Average
back.
average percentage return. I prefer using the term ROI, return on investment, because it's not your general staking pool that we do. It's a little bit of a variation. So
I just
return
get
on
passive.
investment's better.
I get passive coins back, right? That's what that
Yes,
means. Okay.
exactly.
So I could do that, or I could go into an evolved coin. Now, in the staking of the 10,000,
Yes.
the reason why that's good is because when more people stake, the higher the return on investment becomes, right?
Exactly.
Gotcha. Now, what is the value of a Thunder coin?
That's the beauty of it, because the community controls the overall pricing of the market. So whenever there's fluctuations in pricing, say for example, if Thundercoin goes up in value and all of a sudden it's more than 10,000x the price of Pika, it's more valuable then to be able to sell your Thunder and reinvest that back into Pika, because you're making profit. You're essentially gaining more Pika than you originally had.
Oh, so you're taking the Pika 10,000. So,
Yep.
but this is based on the value of a Thunder coin and a Pika coin, then, right?
Yes. So they feed off each other for value.
Yeah, gotcha.
And then we have Rye coin on top of that, which again feeds into the overall pricing structure as well.
What is a Rye coin? What is that?
That's our top tier coin. So that one hasn't been released yet. It's going to be
Okay.
coming out in around about 2 weeks or so. But
Okay.
that's going to be our top tier coin, and that's going to control the most valuable of our system. So it's going to be the essentially the premier products of our system you'll be able to receive as a reward.
So I thought so help me to understand this. How
Yep.
can you know that the price of a Rye coin, sorry, not a Rye coin, a Thunder coin will be more than the price of a Pika coin?
It
How is
all
that possible?
fluctuates according to the market. So
Okay.
it's up to us as the team to provide additional value to those other coins to help the market progress, which is why we've partnered up with Virtuose Studios, who are essentially going to be our NFT artists. So they've worked with massive companies like Marvel, Sony, Warner Brothers,
Wow.
2K Sports, Blizzard. They've done
Wow.
they've worked on Hearthstone. They've done
They bring a lot
massive,
of
massive
experience to the
projects.
table.
And we're going to be essentially providing NFT booster packs, which will be, so you'll open a pack and you'll get 7 NFT trading cards out of it. And those trading cards you'll be able to buy, sell, trade, and then in the future we're actually going to develop and create an online trading card game where you can use those NFTs in a game.
That is awesome because I mean, like at my heart, I'm a gamer. I've been a gamer my whole life.
That's
so,
why
like,
that's why we're the pioneers GameFi, man.
right? Yeah. So I was just thinking about that. Right. I was like, okay, so Pika. Obviously, we're working off of Pokemon here. Obviously, and it's pretty. Yeah. I mean, you're trying to disregard all association with it, but I mean, the roots are there. I mean, someone who thinks about it is
our
the first thing. I
core
thought.
history is Pokemon. We're a
Right.
Pokemon community fan base, but obviously we need to protect ourselves from legal liabilities.
Yeah,
Hence
yeah.
why we've done what we've done.
Correct. So now, yeah, my question is, well, I have I have a ton of questions. First question, right, is the price of Pika is needs to be lower, needs to be 10x lower than that of the Thunder coin.
Yes.
What if that Thunder coin? What if it doesn't? What if the price of Pika surges and the Thunder coins drop? Is that possible?
Supply and demand. So essentially what will happen is, because the only way that you can get access to Thundercoin is by evolving, of course we had an initial supply for the liquidity pool to begin with, so there's a small allocation in that liquidity pool that you can buy, but because it's dependent on people evolving to be able to sell,
Oh, okay.
that means that there'll be a limited supply. So if Pika goes up in value, that means the amount of people evolving will drop down and supply
Yeah.
will drop. And
So
then until it balances out.
The only way you could get this Thunder coin is if you evolve your Pika coin.
That is correct.
And like, except for like a very small amount. that
Or
could buy.
if you buy from people that are selling, obviously.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
So
that makes sense. It's like buying a little Thunderstone from someone
Exactly.
in Pallet Town over here. Like, okay, I get it. Okay, so that solves a lot of that question, because I was like, this doesn't make sense to me. If that price goes down on Thunder and Pika price goes up, why would I evolve my Pika coin? But then you said use case. So can I do the same things with Pika coin that I can do with Thunder? I'm assuming the answer is no.
Not to a degree, because what's going to happen with our booster packs is we're going to have 3 tiers of them. We're going to have your common tier, which will be your Pika tier. We're going to have your Thunder tier, and you're going to have your Rye tier.
Okay.
So we're going to have different levels of rarities of NFTs. So there'll be common, uncommon, rare, super rare, and ultra rare.
Okay.
Now, essentially, if you buy a Pika booster pack, the rarest one you'll be able to get will be a rare one. If you buy a Thunder booster pack, you'll be able to get a super rare. If you buy the Rye pack, you'll get an ultra rare.
Yeah,
so
with normals and stuff like that, and
Exactly.
lower tiers mix in. Yeah, got it. So here's my problem with NFTs currently at the moment, and it sounds like a lot of this hinges, at least the future. A lot of the future hinges on NFTs, especially bringing in like a power partner like that. So here's my problem with NFTs as like a lizard brain, unrefined, uncultured,
Hit
right?
me with it.
I don't see the use of NFTs. I created one recently. I don't see the use of NFTs if I can't display it, or if I can't use it. So like if NFTs have been described to me as like skins in a game, well that's great, because if I put a skin on, people can see me in my shiny new skin.
Yes.
But we're talking NFTs. It goes to my MetaMask wallet. I create an NFT. I send it out to some people. Some people bid on it, which I'm very grateful for. I have it on my wallet. What am I going to do? I'm going to go around like showing people my NFT.
I get it. And
I
we've got a
did.
solution for you.
I did do that, and no one cared. No, and so I'm like, what? So yeah, give me the solution. Hit me up with the solution.
Now, at the core of our ecosystem is going to be our website. Now, our website's going to be a continual development, and it's going to be something that's going to add massive value to our system as a whole over time. So, what's going to happen is people will be able to create profiles on our website. They'll be able to have collectible pages for their NFTs on their website attached to their profile. They'll be able to display their NFTs on the website. They'll be able to buy, sell, and trade through our website. They'll be able to essentially play the online TCG through our website.
So yeah, do you connect your wallet to that website then, or?
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
okay, so
there'll be 2 different ways that we'll look to implement. It is in concept phase at the moment, so we haven't actually started the actual fleshing out of it yet.
Right.
But you'll either be able to deposit onto the website, like an exchange. You'll be able to deposit it there and display them there, or you'll be able to connect through your wallet and display it that way, alternatively. My thought would be to treat it like a centralized exchange, to deposit your NFTs and display them through the website that way. That would be the more logical approach.
That makes a lot of sense, especially if you're playing the game, because where you want to flex your Pika NFTs is with the Pika community, obviously, right? I mean, this is where you don't go over to some other community and flex that. They're like, what is that? Get out of here. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
So you're going to develop this website. So I'm seeing a future here. Now I'm seeing like a real clear roadmap of where you guys want to go, which is phenomenal. These other developers need to get on your guys' page, because there is like a clear vision.
Yes.
And I understand the ecosystem. So let me flush this out for myself, really.
Yes.
You've got 3 coins.
Yes.
Pika coin at the bottom, Thunder coin, Rye coin, and then, so Raichu, obviously, right? So Pika coins, 10,000 either can go into staking, and you get just return on investment on it, APR, or you could evolve it into a Thunder coin. That Thunder coin has 2 things that you could do with, right? You could buy a higher level NFT pack.
Yes.
Or you could sell it for a higher price, because it's more scarce, right? That's the only way you could do that.
Yes.
I know this isn't out yet. Raicoin's not out yet, but how do you get the Raicoin?
It'll be the same way. So it won't be at a ratio of 10,000 to 1. It'll be at a ratio of 1,000 to 1.
Okay.
So
and then you deposit that into the Raicoin, and then
exactly.
Got
exactly. It. So essentially, because the 3 coins will feed off each other for value, if Pika goes up in price, Thunder comes down in price, then Rye will essentially regulate the price of Thunder, because if Rye is more than 1,000 times the price of Thunder, then it makes economic sense to evolve your Thunder into Rye and sell that.
That makes that makes a lot of sense. You have a whole economy here that you're building out.
Exactly.
It's not just one coin. It's like
we call it the Pika ecosystem.
That's what that means, huh?
Yep.
Okay. So now I've got a secondary thing. How far are you out from from developing this trading card game?
We are going to be working with Virtuos first. So that's going to be a big part of what we're doing. So we've essentially struck up the agreement with them. It's going to take a decent amount of time because they've got a Montreal-based development team there. I think it's about eight artists there that they're working with, and they can do one NFT every 3 to 4 days. So
Okay.
it's going to take a little bit of time. Now that's one artist for one NFT every 3 to 4 days. So times
What
that by
what
8
is
will give you an idea. So we're going to be looking at releasing around about 150 NFTs in total.
uh-huh.
You know what I'm
Of
getting
course,
at.
150 for sure.
Yeah, and we'll be looking at doing like a phased rollout of them. So we'll end up doing like 25% early, 25%, 25%, 25%.
How soon until the first 25%?
Well, that's where we need to essentially
Approximately.
establish ourselves as a corporate entity first. So we're in the process of establishing ourselves as a corporate entity, which gives us legal liability as a company. So again, that's more structure and that's more responsibility for us as a team. But we would hope to essentially get development started within the next month for those NFTs.
Oh, month? Oh, okay, dude. I'm thinking like you're making it think like it's like a year from now. I'm like, that's too long. That is
No,
too
no.
long.
So overall, based on my conversations with the head guy over at Virtuos, they would say it could take up to 7 to 8 months to get everything complete from the NFT side of
Oh,
things.
yeah, okay.
But yeah,
Yeah.
but
That's
we've
clearly worth the wait. 2021, you're rolling out with a game.
well, that's the NFTs. The game will be another side of things because that's going to cost just based off research. The
Yeah.
using Gwent. I don't know if you're aware of Gwent or not. Essentially, it's
The
the
Witcher?
Witcher.
Yeah.
The Witcher online trading card game. That cost about $4.1 million to develop. So we're going to have to essentially do a little bit of saving of our team funds to be able to finance a development like that.
Gotcha. So that's years away.
I would like to say within a year or two.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, just at the core, right, of a Pokemon. So you're obviously playing off the nostalgia. You can't get away from the nostalgia of Pokemon and all these.
It's a pioneer. It's a generational
Right.
icon.
Right, for sure. And the people that are investing in Pika more than likely will have some kind of nostalgic embrace towards that. That's part of the reason why. And then we'll learn to like understand this whole breadth of economics. This is just kind of my opinion on this thing. This is where I'm coming from. The reason why I was attracted to Pika, I was like, okay, Pokemon. I like Pokemon. But at the core, the reason why I stopped playing Pokemon Go was because I kept playing it, right? And I loved it for a time, but I couldn't battle anyone. I wanted to battle, and that's what like that game. When you said the game was, it makes so much sense, right? It makes so much sense to go there to battle in whatever format you choose that. But you know what I mean? Like, so this is then an opportunity. This turns out into an opportunity. If it takes a year or two to develop a game, which is what I want as an investor,
Yes.
this is an opportunity to say, hey, am I willing to buy and diamond hands this thing for a year or two? Because those, I mean, you get some kind of like Charizard or Charcoin or something like that, Char NFT, and you are that. I mean, that then in 2-3 years is going to be worth something. Hopefully, that'll be that'll be a good card in the game, and you guys have to balance that out. And I mean, that I don't even know what I love games. I hate trying to figure out how to make them. That doesn't make sense to me. So that actually provides a use case for you NFTs, which I like. I mean, I just like that. These are some just sporadic thoughts on it, but yeah, I don't mind a 2-year game as long as it's good.
Yes.
And I love that I think that's a quick turnaround, an NFT turnaround for 150 NFTs inside 6 to 8 months. I think that's fast. Because I know how long it takes to just develop an NFT, like a base level NFT. But then if you're trying to create some high quality NFTs, it takes a little longer. So I totally...
And these will be... And this was our ultimate goal because we are targeting becoming a multi-billion-dollar crypto. So we need to start acting, thinking, and designing like a multi-billion-dollar crypto, which means we need to start partnering up with organizations that have that same mentality. And Virtuos is literally the pinnacle when it comes to artwork and design for games.
Absolutely, and I think that's phenomenal. I think this is a really intriguing project. This is definitely a long-term hold. This is This is not for. I don't think this is for people that I think there's a lot of depth to your project here. Is there anything else? Like, I mean, we like literally, you've got like it's like a spider web, right? You've got not just one
there's
coin.
lots more. How much more do you want to know?
Dude, I want to know it all. I want to know it all. Come on.
All right.
Let me just let me recap. Let me recap for everyone.
yeah.
You've got 3 coins that evolve into each other that you can make money from. Okay.
Yes.
Then you've got NFTs that are coming out at different tiers. I heard like 4 or 5 different tiers, like
Yes.
rare, super rare, ultra rare, mega. I don't know, but
Yes.
there's like multiple levels of NFTs. Then those NFTs then can be used into a trading card game, maybe a year, 2, 3 years down the line.
Yes.
So it'll raise the value of these NFTs tremendously.
And a kicker for the online trading card game, a little tidbit for you. We're looking at ways to incorporate a payment structure for people that win online trading card games. So you'll be able to earn RAI for winning a game.
That's real cool, because then now you incentivize. Now that's real gamified.
And that adds
that's
value
really gamified
to the RAI coin, which regulates the entire ecosystem.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you'd have to get the better cards to win more players. I mean, like I could just imagine. I mean, this is huge because you're looking at a sorting structure that needs to be fair. You need to look at game balance that needs to be fair. You need essentially a whole like people releasing patches and stuff, on these games. This is huge. This is big.
Yes.
How old is Pika? How old is Pika?
Originally launched only in March. Or that was Pikachu. Pika's only been out technically for 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yep.
Look, I mean, hey, I'm gonna pause right here for my viewers. If you're watching this video, this is where I believe the future of the world's financial systems are moving. It's like developers like Reese. It's this is what I believe that the future of games are moving. It's developers like Reese, because no longer do we just get the reward of having fun to play video games, but now we're like Reese is one of those like developers who see like massive potential in trading cards, in like collectibles, and then making money and getting rewarded. So Reese, I'm kind of shooketh, right, honestly, because it's like I never had the vision to flush this all out in crypto. I always wanted to know, and this is what my channel is all about. I just wanted to explore and try. It's like college. I try everything in crypto because there are brilliant minds out there that are developing these systems and apps, and now you are the first one to develop a whole ecosystem's not even the right word. It's like this whole conglomeration of not just the ecosystem, but like a game. The game part is huge, right? The game part by itself is huge, because you have to have multiple facets to a game, and then you have the ecosystem, and then you have the trade. So it's like this is big, dude. This is scary big.
and what I love to see is when the penny finally drops on the actual potential of this project, and I see it all the time in Telegram when it finally clicks and everything comes and slots into place, and people are like, wow, like all of this blending in together like this is literally never been done before.
No,
we're touching on ground that nobody has ever done in crypto before, and there may be little hiccups or stumbling blocks along the road, because we're treading new ground. We're exploring avenues that have never been touched on before in crypto.
You are the first person that I've come across, not just interviewed, but come across into anywhere on Reddit to fully flesh it out all for me. So I see other developers, right, other projects who are like, okay, we got a trading card game, okay, and I see these separate ones where they're like, we've got a game, and then it's a crappy game, these web browser games. It looks like just like everything else, right?
Yep.
But you've got and on top of that, on top of everything, you've got this nostalgic base that you could tap into.
Yes.
Like when that same base of people got hold of an app on their phone, they were causing mayhem in New York City. they were stopping traffic.
Yep.
I don't know what got into me, but some Pokemon Go bug got in my brain, and I thought it was okay to take me and 5 of my friends in the middle of the night at 1:00 a.m. We all got in a car and someone drove slowly to each Pokestop collecting this. And it was like for 2 hours, and we're like, okay, everyone pitch in for gas. Okay, so I'm only mentioned that
Yep.
because I recognize the power of nostalgia, and I recognize the base of nostalgia. When this is built out, people are going to get interested. I think a whole new wave of crypto adoption will happen as well.
Yes.
To people like, oh, I want to get in on this. So what's going on? And you're not. And the best thing about it is like, you tap into the nostalgia without having to license any rights to any of this, which is
Yes.
super smart. It's very, 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 very smart about that. I can't wait for this. Honestly, I want to see like some NFTs. Do you have one? Like do you have a few NFTs out right now?
We've got concept phase pieces done. We're releasing 3 NFTs for starters. It's not done by Virtuos to begin with, but they are one-of-a-kind NFTs, and they are the visual representations of our coins.
Okay.
So we'll only ever sell 1 Pika coin, 1 Thunder coin, and 1 Rye coin.
Gotcha.
So Pika is currently up for auction right now. It's sitting at about 1 ETH in total sale price.
Cool.
But those 2 will be released, and then we're also contemplating essentially doing a content creator NFT range. So again, not done by Virtuos, but done by another artist, whereby we can have a Pika branded content creator NFT range.
Got it.
So, because a lot of our marketing, we want to reach out to the community. It's all community based. We were founded by the community, we've been developed by the community, and we want to give back to the community. So
Right.
we can reach out and get in touch with content creators, which we've already got a few on board. And then if we can make an NFT range for them, then that's going to be beneficial to them and for us in the long-term development. So again, that'll be on our website. We'll have little collectible pages that people can fill out on there as well. So there's a lot of other layers that we can add on to. And we're also going to be developing what we're loosely calling at the moment Pbay, because essentially...
What is it? Pbay?
Pbay is what we're affectionately calling it. It might end up changing, but essentially it's going to be a marketplace where people can buy and sell pretty much anything, and you'll be able to buy with Pika, Thunder, Rye, or any other crypto.
Okay. And you can sell anything, or an
Yep.
NFT marketplace?
Yes.
Okay.
You can sell a Nintendo 64 if you wanted to sell a Nintendo 64, as long as somebody's willing to pay for it with Pika, Thunder, Rye, ETH, Bitcoin, whatever they want to pay with it.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So, so you're developing an Pbay.
Yeah, a Pbay. Name may change.
I mean, the name's a little weird, man.
It is
It's a little weird,
is,
man.
It is.
That's I don't want to type in Pbay in my browser. Something might come out. You know what I mean?
I like it.
Yeah, I'm
Let's
just
just call
saying.
it Pika Bay.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. Yeah, that's fine. Look, so, Reese. Now I'm a little worried. Now, honestly, I'm a little worried because you've got 3 coins.
Yep.
You've got the NFTs, and you've got a
Yep.
trading card game, and you've got Pbay.
Yep. The website's going to be the entirety of our ecosystem.
Okay.
Big project. It's and that's what I mean. Like,
And then you
we're
got the
gonna
website
revolutionize the
developed.
crypto market. Yes.
So you've got too many things. How do you plan on taking this?
Well,
this all
at the
down.
moment, we've got a team of about 12 to 14 core developers.
Uh-huh.
Now, bear in mind that we have marketers, we have graphic designers, we have people like that on board. We also have Solidity developers and others on board too. We have a support staff of about 20 as well on top of that. So they're people
Okay.
that can answer your questions in Telegram or Discord or do Twitter management, things like that. So we're also looking, once development continues along, upon expanding upon our support base and bringing more people into the project for more development. So long-term developmental goals for us would be, and mind you, I'm talking like a year or 2 down the track, would be to essentially establish our own mainnet. So to migrate away from the Ethereum network and essentially establish everything on our own network. So that's a long-term goal, but that would essentially alleviate a lot of the gas fee issues, the slowness of the network, and all that kind of stuff. It would mitigate a lot of those problems.
So what's the timeline for all this stuff?
Mainnet would be realistically a couple of years. Now,
Okay.
the team are going to start development pretty much as soon as all the contracts are released, when Rye's released and everything there is done. Which, again, we're 2 weeks out from releasing Rye, so that'll happen soon. And then they'll free up to be able to start working on our other developments that we've got lining up. So we'll be looking to hopefully double our team of actual coding developers and expand upon that and start the serious work on that front. With essentially the NFT side of things, we've got a couple of connects who actually work at Virtuos as well as Counterpunch Studios, who are going to essentially be our go-betweens when it comes to developing the NFTs. So we've got like an NFT team, they're going to be working on that. We've also got a web team who are working on that. So we have 3 separate teams working on 3 separate products, and essentially myself, the vice president, and a couple of the other core team members are there to oversee the development of those 3 projects in particular.
I'm like stunned. I'm like writing down questions here about like all this. So I guess my general question is, what is it like to manage this many people, this many teams, this many projects, and then like have them sync up? Like, what's that like?
Well, now you know why I had to give up my job.
Yeah.
So again, time zones are probably the hardest thing at the moment, because being in Australia, I'm on the other side of the world. So for me right now, it's getting close to midnight. So I'm up to about 3 a.m. most nights doing meetings and whatnot. But we have essentially got a corporate structure in place to streamline our lines of communication. So obviously having a relatively large team with a lot of different balls in the air, we need to ensure that our lines of communication are as effective as possible. So we use as many platforms as we can. We use Trello, we use our Telegram, we use Discord, we have a Google Drive accounts. We have all these different avenues where we can store all of our data and all our information. And essentially the teams essentially give us updates on how development's going through Trello, for example. We can see the assets that are being developed on the Google Drive, and we can just chat away in the Telegram, for example, about how everything's going. We have daily meetings. Every single day we have a meeting to catch up with how things are progressing, to get insights. So it's a lot of work, and there's a lot of people putting in a lot of work, but the long-term potential, the long-term growth, the long-term potential is worth it. Now, do you want me to go through our actual redistribution fees? We haven't touched on that yet either.
Yeah,
So,
what is that? I don't know what that is.
So a lot of people use the word tax. We call it a redistribution fee.
Hold on, wait, time out.
Yeah,
Hold on. So you've got multiple teams, multiple areas. You work until 3 a.m.
Yes.
And you're balancing all these people. How many hours a week do you work? Or a day? Let's say a day.
Let's just say I get around about 4 to 5 hours of sleep a night. So,
Okay.
yeah. So,
Jeez Louise, man. That's.
So-
I mean, first of all, that's incredible, and I salute you, my friend. Like, I salute you, and I salute your team, and you obviously have great leadership capabilities. You obviously are a visionary, and needless to say, the other things, smart and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, let's talk about redistribution, because what the heck?
so
Why not?
a lot of the ways that cryptocurrencies are doing it, a lot of the meme coins at the moment, is they're doing reflect tokenomics, which means essentially when somebody buys their coin, a certain percentage will be redistributed to the holders. We don't do that. We do essentially what we call a deflationary tokenomic model, which means that we have burn rates instilled within our transaction rates. So for every single Pika that's bought, 2.25% is redistributed. Now, how is it redistributed? 1.5% of that 2.25% goes into the staking pool, which beefs up the returns for people to go into the staking pool.
Got it.
That's another avenue where they can earn. We have 0.25% that go, or 0.3%, sorry, that goes to the team wallet. So that's for us to be able to develop our projects. That's our financial planning moving forward. Which
Time out. So the redistribution into the staking pool.
Yes.
How do you know? How do you know which coin goes into where? Because I'm assuming there are 2 staking pools, right? or 3?
In the long run, there'll be 3. In the long run, there'll be 3. We're not going to open up Rye to Rye staking pool until the NFTs are done.
And so if you trade Rye, that Rye goes into this staking pool. If you trade Thunder or Pika, it goes to its own. Okay, got it.
Yes, because essentially they're all developed on their own individual contracts.
Gotcha.
So instead of just having
makes sense.
one contract, we've got 12, for example. So that's how it ties all our ecosystem in together.
Gotcha.
So one of the big questions we've got at the moment is why haven't we done a audit yet? So
that's a big one. Yeah.
a big reason why we haven't done our audit yet is because we want the entire release of the entire ecosystem done first, and we want to have the entire project audited. We don't just want the coding audited. We want the entire project. We want the website audited. We want our banking structure audited. We want the entire thing audited to show how open and transparent we are as a project.
Would it make sense? And I'm asking, would it make sense to have multiple audits? Like, hey, we have 15 audits by Certec or whatever.
Yes and no. From a financial perspective, getting a full company audit done, you're looking at over 50 grand plus. Just for
50 grand?
And that's just for and mind you, a lot of projects that come out saying that they've had audits done, they all have had is security coding audits done. They haven't done project audits. So a project audit is significantly more detailed and in depth. It essentially outlines the weaknesses and strengths of all aspects of the project, from website to tokenomics to corporate structure to everything.
Yeah.
So we're going to get the entire whole kit and caboodle done.
Okay. I mean, I could understand that. That's a lot of money. So is there anything parts of the Pika ecosystem that we've missed that we haven't covered? I want to get everything.
There is allocations within the redistribution fees for charity.
Okay.
So every month the community can decide upon where the charity gets directed to, which is quite cool. So we essentially compile a short list of charities, and then the community can vote on which charity wins that month and go from there.
Gotcha.
There is a burn rate built into the staking, built into the evolution, and built into the transaction redistribution fees as well.
That's fair.
And this is where it gets really interesting, because we started off with Pika with a 50 trillion supply. We're already down to 43.5 trillion. We burnt we burnt 5 trillion on launch, and through our staking, our evolution, and our transaction redistribution fees, we've already burnt 1.5 trillion. So through our deflationary tokenomic model, it's designed to create increase pressure on price over time.
Gotcha. But with 43 trillion, that's how much you said. 43 trillion. I could drop in $10 and get like a million Pika right now, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
And then I'm just going to evolve that into a Thunder coin as soon as possible.
Yes, you can.
And then I'll stake that.
Yes, you can.
Jeez Louise. Okay.
Yeah. And as I said, once the penny drops for our investors, people are like, I'm never leaving this project ever.
Sure. I'm glad. I'm obviously gonna swoop in and pick up some here.
Yes.
So I've got another question here.
Yes.
So I know I've said you've got a built-in community.
Yes.
And I feel like that's true. But at the same time, what is the plan for you? I'm a marketer at heart, right? What is the plan for you to build this out, build this community out, and strengthen the community, solidify the community? What's the plan?
I'd like to pick your brain, because marketing is one of those things in crypto that, if done well, you'll be like SHIB. You'll essentially rocket and platform up yourself into the top 50. If you don't market it well, then you can have the best tokenomics in the world. Doesn't mean squat.
Right.
So essentially, we are formulating plans. Personally, I don't like doing your general run-of-the-mill kinds of marketing. Hence why I'm not going to. I don't want to say ever, but I don't like doing text-based AMAs. I don't like doing text-based anything, because I feel like I can't get across the point of our ecosystem without being able to verbalize it and being able to talk to people about it.
Right.
So
eventually, you'll have to do that, though. You understand that, right? Eventually,
Yes.
I mean, you can only talk so much.
I can talk a lot, but yes. But yes, but we've also created a lot of tutorials on our website, so people can
Sure.
learn how to stake, people can learn how to evolve, people can learn about what GameFi is,
Bro.
and things like
So,
that.
I mean, you can make all the tutorials you want. This is just my personal opinion.
Yes.
Make all, but I know I have a lizard brain. I
Yes.
know I need big pictures and big color. I won't. I mean, people are scared to say that, but
Yes.
people don't want to feel like they're dumb or come off that they're dumb. But we need to understand things like we're dumb. Like on, so it's like video tutorials I found don't work. I mean, like unless someone it's like really in depth, like some kind of
Yes.
technical skill that you need to get. But
Yes.
I need to know like it needs to be something like 10,000 Pika into one Thunder. One Thunder gets you this. Like something like
Yes.
something so
And
blatant. The best type of marketing is simple marketing, in my
Yes.
opinion. And so
we have a lot of graphics already devised with our evolutionary rates and things like that we've been pushing out through our social media platforms.
Yeah, okay.
We are getting TikTokers, we are getting YouTubers, we are getting Twitter personalities. We've got people from Cameo that we're hiring as well.
Okay.
A concept piece that we're fleshing out at the moment is I want to reach out to Tony Hawk, and I want to get a Pika skateboard into his hands. So
That's pretty cool.
I've got a guy here in Launceston that makes 6 skateboards. Our Brazilian graphic designer is absolutely incredible when it comes to graphic design. We're going to mesh them two together. We're going to send them out. We're going to reach out to people like Bam Margera, we're going to like Steve-O, and that's the benefit of being a meme coin. Is we're a meme coin, but we've got all this incredible tokenomics behind us that makes us a sensible investment coin.
And that's isn't that the curse and the blessing of a meme coin anyway? You know what I mean? Like it's like a meme coin, you automatically think, oh, this is, let's just get in, get out. Like this is what I personally think. I don't personally think I'm gonna hold on to Aquapig for and I hate to sorry Aquapig people, but it's too silly. It's like like what am I doing? What am I doing if I just take a step back? So it when you run Pika token, it has the same feel. Honestly, it just that's the curse and the blessing of the meme coin. You get a lot of eyes and a lot of people just why not? But then you open up the box, this Pika box, and you peekaboo. It's like freaking this economy, the explosion, and it's like I said. I think depth is a good word for me to kind of understand your project. There's a wealth of depth into this thing, and especially years down the line. Like you have several catalyst events that could jump that price up.
Yes.
So I'm excited for you guys, right? I'm excited for this, and we could talk. I mean, I would love if you're open to it right now. I mean, I'd love to see a longer term relationship with you guys. This is something that I personally believe in. Look, if you're watching this video, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a cowboy. Okay, don't sue me. I'm not trying to get into that whole thing. But I like this guy. I like Reese. I like the project. I love the economics. I love the vision and the direction of it. So that's something that I really love. It just makes a lot of sense. And like I said, moreover, it fits into my bigger ethic of where I see cryptocurrency in the future of the world. Moreover, it's like you will start to see these developers, these people, entrepreneurs who have been locked, who have been constricted by so many physical aspects, but now the digital world's open. And now like interconnectivity between skill sets is open. And then now you're bringing in like different ecosystems. Like just having a game is hard enough. So you bring in a team to run the game, and then you run that off of marketer, and then you run that off of NFTs. So it's like it's very, very impressive in my opinion. This is something that I'm extremely excited about. I'm not too excited about charities. I'm not too excited about NFTs, at least not yet, until I see some real functionality. I'm not that artsy fartsy type of guy. It's just not me. But if I could display that, and if I know people can display that, that makes a lot of sense to me. If I know that I could use that in the game, that makes a lot of sense to me.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I just love this whole project, and like moreover, I just love the ethic of it, that it is fitting into what I see the world developing its financial systems and just systems in general on blockchain. I think it makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense.
And I'm excited to see how the project develops personally. And I would love to pick your brain from a marketing perspective at some stage.
Yeah, of course.
So
of course,
you can never have too many ideas floating around there. That's for sure.
No, of course not. Of course not. So Reese, let's wind down here. I got a few more questions here.
Yes.
One, on a personal level, what has been the hardest part for starting this project? I want to see some blood. I want to see like what has
Yes.
been the most hardest, part to you, hit to you, and how'd you
Yes.
overcome it?
The migration from Pikachu to Pika was the hardest thing for us as a development team, because essentially we came in to an already established project that had been abandoned, mind you, but we built up that project and then we needed to migrate over to a new token. So doing that, we had to do it as a manual swap. We couldn't do it as an airdrop, which means that the investors had the choice of migrating over or not. So there was a portion of our community that opted to not swap over. So unfortunately, as a consequence of them not swapping over, because the price of Pikachu was being inflated by our project that we were developing and that we were putting forward, then all of a sudden, after the fact of the swap, the price of Pikachu fell down as a consequence. So all of a sudden, we have investors from the previous project that have lost out to a certain degree because they decided not to swap over to our project. So from my personal perspective, that was hard, but there was no other way that we could have essentially gotten Pika off the ground.
You care a lot about your investors.
Of course, they're the backbone of what we do.
Yeah, that's awesome. I like to see that. That's great. Man, I'm excited, dude. Is there anything is there anything that I did not cover that you would like to bring to my attention right now?
I think we've touched on the majority of topics that I think people would care to know about.
Okay, cool.
So, of course, if people have more questions, we have Telegram, we have Discord, we have Twitter,
Sure.
we have all our social media platforms. People can ask us questions. I do AMAs every Saturday on our YouTube, so
Gotcha.
people can come in and ask questions on the Reddit and ask me directly.
Yep.
Again, I'm a big believer in openness, honesty, and transparency. So it doesn't matter what question people ask during the AMA, I will answer it.
Links are in the description, boys, if you're watching this video too. All right, Reese, I think our time is up here. I'm going to wind this down with one last question, and it's just a simple one, or it might not be simple. But before we do that, guys, if you are feeling generous today, give me a like button, give Reese a like button, go follow Pika and do your own research there. And of course, if you're just like a cowboy like me, and we're trying to find some people just to trust and some projects that we can trust, that won't get rug pulled, that care, and you know what I mean, like that we just a solid game plan. Just take a look at Pika. I'm not saying go buy it. I'm just a cowboy, not your advisor. Go ahead and hit subscribe button down below for on my journey to 1 Bitcoin, and hit the notification bell. But here, Reese, last chance to anyone who's still skeptical. Why Pika? Why invest in Pika? There's a million freaking tokens out there. Probably I don't even know. Pichu coin, Charizard coin, all these other coins. Why? For the skeptical investor, I personally I'm in. So that's what I'm doing. For someone who's watching who's still skeptical, but they made it to the end of this video, why should I invest in Pika?
I'll give you a serious answer. I was going to throw out a meme answer and just say because we're the future of meme coins, but I'll give you a serious answer.
Do both. So the
future of meme coins, pioneers,
there you go.
pioneers of GameFi. There you go.
That's awesome.
The serious answer is that my belief and our belief as a team is that corporate regulation will come to cryptocurrency at some stage. Governments will not allow people to essentially allow themselves to run a deregulated system. So everything that we have done as a project has been to establish ourselves for future protection. So that's why we've removed all of our copyright infringements, we've removed all of our intellectual property infringements from our previous project, and we are setting ourselves up as a corporate entity so that regardless of what happens in the future, we are protected and we are clear and steady to move forward as a project regardless of what happens.
Awesome. I just love, man, I just can't tell you how much I love the spirit of DeFi. I love the spirit of crypto, and you really embody it with a lot of different arms to this project. Reese, thank you so much for joining us on this.
Thank you very much for having me
on this interview. You were in the hot seat, and I learned a ton, and I'm excited.
Didn't even get a scratch. How's that?
Absolutely. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the moon.